G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions with the co-host, the bearded lawnsman, BJ. How you going? How are you?
What's good, brother? What's been happening?
It's been pretty quiet. Like Catch Pro is not super busy. We all know that I sort of thrive in, being busy and under pressure. So
I can tell.
I'm a little bit I'm still in good spirits, but I definitely prefer life when I wake up and I've got orders to pack and build and I've got proper business to do.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen what you've done in your downtime and it's fucking work.
That's true. But anyway, at the moment, I'm sort of being able to do some of the back end and, maybe developing some products and stuff.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It's, even though it's good and, exciting, I don't feel like I'm productive enough.
That's
a little bit of an issue. I sort of get a little bit beside myself.
Yeah, I know you. You're always moving about. Not like me. When I get a bit of time to myself, I'm fucking feed up.
Yeah, I don't really do that until later. Unless I have like a little sneaky nap or something, which...
Yeah, I'm not a napper. Maybe that's where you get all your extra juice from.
I can get a month... Yeah, but see, I don't get to... I couldn't do it unless I was flogged or something, you know what I mean? So, and it was freezing, and now it's like not... I wouldn't say it's super freezing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird,
That
isn't
Arctic blast is kind of...
Yeah. I mean, the temperatures were still like 11 when I left this morning.
Oh, it's freezing.
It's not too bad, but
It's freezing in this morning.
This morning, my jumper was off by sort of like 10, and I was just sitting on the ride-on today, so I'm hitting the 40 acres. I don't think the weather's going to bother me too much anymore. That Arctic blast, though, that was gross.
Yeah, it was... I just couldn't believe how cold it actually was. But anyway, now we're sort of back to a normal temperature.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's pretty good.
It's not too bad.
It's always hard at this time of year, even though it is winter now.
Yeah.
But it's like you're kind of cold, and as soon as you start something...
Yeah, it's fine.
You immediately get hot. It's weird. Like you could work no shirt.
Yeah,
once you get amongst it.
I haven't taken my flanny out yet, so I'm going straight from jumper to shirt. So yeah, it's changing. It's changing. Maybe it'll get colder. I've seen a few people fucking snow, iced up windows, all that sort of shit.
It's crazy what happens south of here.
I'm whinging.
I don't know what work they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, trees. I guess it's not like it's fucking dangerous, but I wouldn't really want to be out there climbing ladders in the icy conditions.
Oh mate, I'll do that. You put a hose on me and I'll still climb up, eh? I'm not afraid of nothing.
Hey, that's something that fucking Will did to me, my young fella. I left him to do work by themselves and went and sat on the 40, and I said, "Oh, how you boys doing today?" And he sent me back a message saying, Dion fell off the ladder. He's not great, but he's not really hurt. And I was like, fuck. So I've rung him straight away, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, oh, I'm just having smoko. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, the ambulance will be here soon. I'm like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You're lying to me. He's like, just started lying. I'm like, fuck, don't do that sort of shit to me.
It's always good when you G up the boss.
Oh man, I was panicking. I finally fucking found someone, and he's fallen off a fucking ladder.
So, bit of exciting news. We're going to do the draw today.
Whoa!
Now, apologies to everyone that was waiting for that to happen last week. We kind of forgot.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to say thank you to everyone that did leave us a review. You're in the draw. I do apologise to our YouTubers that have obviously been good and interactive and very complimentary and things like that. But it was really important to us that we get these reviews where they need to be.
Yeah, because YouTube comments are awesome, but they don't really help us reach out to other people. And
look, I'm sure that they do in some way. In terms of analytics, not so much. Maybe we will do something on YouTube eventually anyway, because we definitely respect and cherish all of the people that are following.
It's so good, and most of the people on YouTube also have left reviews. Like most of the names have popped up, so that's really good because we have been announcing like this is where you have to leave it. So.
Oh man, we've been giving people like every opportunity.
Plenty of heads up.
So. Without further ado, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw first place first.
Oh shit, the exciting one goes off first.
Yeah, because, it was only supposed to be a first and last. Right. Now, did you want to draw it or do you want me to draw it?
Do you want to hold the hat and I'll draw it?
Okay.
Oh shit. Boom. What do we got? Number 52.
52. So, while BJ is finding out which review is number 52, I can tell you that you have won a 2-place trimmer rack. Now, if you didn't want the 2-place trimmer rack, you could very well take the Commander spray pack. I think we can give first place first option. Let's say if you want a whipper gripper, that would be cool. But anyway, if you did want the 2-place rack, congratulations, BJ. We're getting close to finding. See, this is an old school type of competition. The reviews aren't numbered, so BJ has to physically find it. So, what are you trying to do, pal?
Trying to move your fucking cursor, mate.
2 fingers, bruh.
There we go.
It's a 2-finger swipe.
Oh. So we got Zuzu88.
Zuzu88. Okay, so Zuzu88, we can't really tell who you are. What you're going to actually have to do is you're going to have to actually reach out to myself. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, to all the winners is I'm going to have my email address here. So it's info@catch-pro.com.au. You can find that email on the website. Please email in if you are. Who was he again?
Zuzu88.
Yep, and we can verify your details and get your shipping information and ship you that 2-place trimmer rack. Okay, BJ.
Oh, number 2.
Number 2 for the Commander spray pack. Here we go.
Oh shit! Number 1.
Number
1.
Wow. So, while we find out,
Happy Bounce. Oh, Hoppy Bounce.
Hoppy Bounce. I think that's Gary Ashton.
Is it?
I have a feeling it's Gary Ashton.
Oh, congratulations,
Congratulations. Gary. Hey, he left us our first reviews, which is excellent. So, if it is, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Commander spray pack.
Wait, what is it a dog act if he takes it and then like re-auctions it on his like as a competition?
Well, look, technically I don't own it anymore, so
we'll see what he does.
It happens.
Let me finger blast this.
We got the last one, which is the whipper gripper.
Oh fuck yeah! I hope it's me.
Hope you haven't got one already. We can offset it to something else. Number 6. Gee, low numbers, eh?
I know. Oh no! It's CURRGHDGGD. Who is that?
I have no idea.
CURRGHDGGD. This might be a disadvantage to someone who just made a fucking fake profile to throw us a review.
Yeah, so the review says, excellent, amazing insight to the lawn and garden industry, always so knowledgeable, and
I like
the new producer is an A+.
Yeah. I got to write this fucking thing down.
What we'll do is any unclaimed prizes after like maybe say 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll draw again. Now, I like to just do like a little pretend one.
Yeah.
So like, if it's that person, be like, oops.
All right. Oh, you're gonna do it?
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna do it. It was number 55.
Number 55. All right.
Which is kind of a bastard to get to. Anyway, that was a bit of fun.
Let's have a look.
Wait, that was a bit of fun. I just lost like $2,000.
All right, so let's have a look.
Now, while BJ is having a look at the pretend winner, I don't know why we're doing it. Just pick one.
Blakelys Backyards. You know what, Blakely? I'll fucking send you a skag pack. We'll have
Okay.
some hats.
I didn't know that was happening.
Nah, well, maybe he can fucking swing me his size. I can get him a shirt and shit like that.
Ah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, so Blakely, fucking hit me up on TBL on my Instagram, or you can email me at tblpropertymaintenance fucking at gmail.com. And yeah, I'll hook you up.
I wish we could just draw everyone, eh?
I know.
Just keep drawing shit and go bankrupt.
It'd be good, man, if we could get some sponsors and they could fucking jump on.
I mean, I reckon we could probably pull some merch together, but
Yeah.
it's different to like real prizes.
Yeah.
Or we could have done a bad.
Thanks,
we could have
man.
done a bad workwear pack. Maybe let's do that. Let us know if you want us to do a bad workwear pack. That should be pretty cool because hopefully we can get that shit.
Yeah, maybe they can send us something. But that's pretty cool. Hey, fucking another thing that's cool. Congratulations to everyone who won, by the way. I hope that everyone knows who they are and they can get back to us and we can fucking get your shit out to you. But my shed got built.
I saw that.
Fucking these boys, I was so impressed. K&R Shed Builders is their name. If anyone ever needs their fucking shed erected, I think they arrived at 6:30. Had it finished by 4:30 on a Saturday, and everything is fucking spot on. And they were good.
Can they
Good
build me a
price.
flood-proof one?
Probably. Just get a
Probably not.
big high fucking concrete slab like mine.
It's actually illegal.
What, to put a big slab in there?
Yeah, you can't do that here.
What?
There's people like going to jail and shit.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
You can forget slanging drugs around here. You
Yeah.
fucking build up your land, you're fucking gone.
So what happens if you want to put a shed? You have to put like a paper thin fucking slab down.
No, standard slab. You just can't build up. You can't go over
So you
the
have
building envelope. Because what it does is it directs water to everyone else's properties, which essentially isn't fair.
Yeah, it's true, but yeah, fuck.
So any other news like going on around? Actually, I did hear a little bit about this Briggs Stratton still
Oh yeah,
thing. I was giving a dealer a little bit of shit, just a bit of cheek, just
Yeah.
being like, fucking, you won't have ferrous soon, rah rah. And they said that it's only the snapper mowers. Now, snapper in America is Victor here.
Okay.
So it seems as though still is only taking the bottom end, which I think that's what you
I
initially
originally
said.
said that, but I've heard that they're going for a lot more than just the bottom end.
So I did hear that too. Look, in America, the snappers are far better than the Victor zero turns that we get here.
Oh, okay.
Even though that is kind of like there's a snapper stand on,
Oh, okay.
and there is no Victor.
No.
I think Victor might have one model which has like a just plausible deck.
Yeah.
And it's one that is on one of the Ferris machines.
Oh, okay.
And it's not, it's kind of got like a cutout. It's a bit funky. The rest of the Victors are just like, and if you got a Victor, suck shit. No. No, it just means, you're working your way up through something.
That's
or
it.
a dealer dogged you.
Yeah, told you it was full commercial.
So, anyway, it'd be interesting to see how that progresses.
Yeah, for
it's kind
sure.
of like, I like it when things are like shaking
Yeah,
up.
it's something different to look forward to. Yeah, man.
I mean, we sort of know a little bit about, like, we all know that Hustler got bought out
Yeah.
by MTD. No one really knows what's happening yet. There's still hustles coming into the country. In America, there's all sorts of weird things happening, like Cub Cadets are being DeWalt's. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens with the hustlers.
That'll be interesting.
Maybe they'll end up being DeWalt's.
Maybe they'll drop some of the lines. There's so many mowers in the Hustler lineup. Maybe they'll drop a few.
I just don't know why you would. I mean, there's a few variants of, say, fast tracks, and there's a lot of different Raptors.
That's what I mean. There's fucking
like they've got
three of everything.
You got like a Raptor X, a Raptor XD. Then you have a Raptor XDX.
Okay, yeah.
And the Raptor XDX is running the old fast track deck. You know, and I don't even know what the differences are. I mean, there's probably one has bigger hydros, one has a bulkier deck, but do you really need that many variants of one
well, that's
model?
what I was saying. Like, it's a huge lineup that they have, so they could probably shave a bit of the fat. But I mean, if they're all selling, then I guess there's no need to.
Yeah, they kind of got something for everyone. But it'd be interesting to see. You know, we haven't really talked about it before on the podcast.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
So, it'd be interesting to see if Cub Cadet fuck it all up.
Pretty much, yeah. It will be interesting, but no, it's fucking
because in the
you know what I did see? Sorry to jump in. Echo's new fucking battery lineup.
Yeah,
from our pals Stripe Life.
Huh?
Us pals from Stripe Life were fucking showing that off.
Oh yeah, and okay. So I mean, I did see that. If anyone's look, I just love the Stripe Life page.
Yeah, it's so content.
They're funny dudes. Like, you can tell they got a sense of humour.
There's like a bunch of chicks on there in bikinis.
That could have been their wives, so we'll watch what we say.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Except, no, I liked it too. I mean, I immediately looked at it and I was like, we need some Sheilas on the skull sessions to like. I know you could do it.
I could definitely do that. Around the pool.
I'd be like, hey Vic, can you get half naked for my friends on my podcast?
Drinking a cocktail. I'll just be there drinking a cocktail. It'll be like me. Then
deep throating a sausage.
Yeah. Just making the grossest noises.
And also, now I know that this is a Thursday, but it was D Scarlett's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Not Thursday, it was on Tuesday. So, happy birthday, D, if you're listening, which I'm probably assuming you're not. Well, she is kind of a listener, right?
Yeah, hope so.
All right. Call me. No. I don't know how to recover from that one.
Yeah,
so, what are we going to be talking about today, pal?
We are talking about something that has come up in a few podcasts, and it's non-billables.
Now, sorry, did you want to piggyback on that?
Nah, go for it.
So, look, we decided to talk about non-billable hours today because in the summertime, you know, you're working and usually people are busy. And yes, there will be a certain amount of non-billable hours, but in the winter time is when you're not so hard pushed.
Yeah.
I mean, some businesses are doing the cleanups and stuff, but usually you're either looking for work or you have a little bit more time to do some maintenance or some upgrades. All of that falls under non-billable hours.
Yeah.
Now, what my beef is that, because we hear this term being thrown around all the time, right?
Yeah.
And we know that some contractors are lifting their prices so high to account for non-billable hours.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not against that. That is smart business. People have heard me, you know, voice my opinions about pricing and what people should be getting, what they're worth, etc. I'm not against anyone trying to earn as much as they can possibly get, but I do think there is a line. And what I mean by, I think it's the principal factor. If you're going into business for yourself, you can expect some fucking non-billable hours, right?
Yeah, big time.
And you can't get, like, there's just an element of business that it is not accountable for.
Yeah.
So, let's just quickly go back to a story. You and I were just talking on the phone yesterday.
Yeah.
What did you do yesterday?
I was doing maintenance all day. So, me PB 8010 shat itself. Had to fucking throw a new carby on that. Had to go over my skag, getting ready for the 40 acres.
And how much money did you earn from doing that stuff?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I think I spent money because I went out and I got some new bits and pieces because I've got the shed now. I'm all excited. So I went and got fucking coffee with my missus and yeah.
So
I spent money. I lost money.
Yeah. And the point is that we're really trying to make in this episode is that probably don't think about your non-billable hours as a waste or anything like that, right?
Now, quoting, and I think when you're sitting at home doing a quote, by all means, I feel like you can add a little bit to that quote for the time that it took. A big quote, not a fucking like a $50 lawn, but a big quote like, say, you know, like 60 cubic meters of mulch in fucking 9 different zones. That's when you can kind of be like, oh, I'll throw a little bit of cream on that for my time that I've taken.
I agree with you wholeheartly. Whoever the fucking slapdick was that came up with free quotes and made it like a thing, fuck you.
You know what though? There's a point. So my daughter is getting a bathroom built, and because it's through NDIS, these quotes are like $500. So they come in, they fucking check the place out, they fucking send a quote, and they fucking send a bill for $500.
Yeah,
$500.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a fair fucking whack on top. So for something that would cost, you know, I'm going on a bit of a fucking sidebar, but like her bathroom, her bathroom is nothing special. It's just going to be open and just open plan, so you can throw the wheelchair through there. Water fucking ceiling tiles, shower, toilet, blah blah blah, and it's running into like the $60,000 mark. It's in the 50s at the moment, but
oh wow,
just the paperwork has cost like $6,000.
Oh wow.
So I don't know what the NDIS are thinking, because we could have literally got someone in just to fucking knock some walls out and tile it and things for like $30,000. But yeah, they're making their fucking money somewhere, and every time this one lady, she'll write out a recommendation letter, and it'll be $1,500.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, I think I just know how much time I spent in my own business when I had Greenscape Solutions. I know how much time I spent constantly trying to be better than what I already was. And if someone had said to me, you know, all the hours that I used to spend, because I used to do it all the time. I mean, I was Googling, you know, contracts coming up in Brisbane, and you know how there's like the tender websites?
Yeah.
So you have to pay like, could be $100 to sign up to those.
Yeah.
And then you get all the tenders rolling in. But if you didn't want to pay, they would actually preview the first 10 open tenders.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you could kind of get a feel
for whether it's worth throwing your $100 in the ring.
Yeah, and I never did, because even though there was you know your job that you're doing, Carindale Village.
Yes.
So that was actually on there at one point, like years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So there are some great valuable tenders that are on there. But, you know, like I spent hours and hours and hours, and, you know, like it was an investment, even though it's a non-billable.
Yeah.
And you know, also with the scheduling. So like at one point when I had, say, 4 or 5 workers and we weren't doing humongous contracts yet, like I just didn't feel comfortable going into a week or a day unless I knew I had that sussed.
Yeah.
And I think now business owners are really looking at it and they're like, fuck that, I want to get paid for this shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not 100% tripping on it, because we do want everyone to get paid. But I also don't think that people understand how much, as much of a sacrifice as it is, it's going to make your business so much better anyway.
There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and knowing that your day or week or whatever is all organised. You've done all your maintenance, everything's all sorted. Now, the one place I am starting to feel like I am losing out a bit is now I've got staff. I feel like I'm doing more organising, and it's now becoming like pretty evident that while I'm doing all this shit, I'm not making money. I'm just letting them make the money, but I'm still making money. But my brain is going, why aren't you fucking working, you moron? Like, why haven't you got tools in your hand?
And it can be similar with me. Now, I should never really compare Catch Pro with like any lawn mowing business just because it really is so different. But it'll be the same thing with me if I'm trying to develop a new bracket.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can take months.
Yeah.
From the time that I think, okay, we're going to do this bracket, to you get your first sample, then you tweak that, then you change that, you've got it completely done and finished. Once that bracket is finished and you make a couple of sales, it pays itself off.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you know what I mean? Like you're not earning anything at all.
And I feel like it's the same with like spending time on the tender website, you know, searching your local fucking Google machine, and you know, if you get something out of it, it's worth it. If it's not, then you got to be like, oh, that was a bit of a fucking kick in the dick, but move on, try again.
And so, do you class a non-billable as anything to do with TBL property maintenance that is physically not, that you don't invoice for? Is that what you class a non-billable?
Yeah.
So like if you have 5 missed calls and you come home and you're like, all right, I'm just going to organise these missed calls, and it takes you an hour.
Yeah.
Which that can happen to me because I talk a lot. You know, and whether they're potential good clients, potential bad clients, all of that is work.
Yeah.
It's a non-billable.
I don't really think of it as that.
Okay. Because what I think is...
Like, I don't.
Like,
I really don't. It's weird, but I don't think of it as a non-billable hour.
So what sort of things are you classing as a non-billable?
I'd say like maintenance and like you're running around, like if I have to go and pick up shit for the boys, like, you know, hunting the fucking countryside for whippersnipper cord. Fuck me dead.
Yeah, I heard it's getting real. I mean, look, we don't have any supply either.
Maybe sucking dick under a bridge for fucking nylon soon. It's going to be crazy.
Jesus, I can't believe you went there with that just there.
I need some whippersnipper cord now, man. But no, so yeah, things like maintenance, phone calls, yes and no. Like
invoicing, surely.
Well, I don't do the invoicing, so, you know, my wife does that.
But you can imagine if your wife didn't do it,
then yes.
And then you weren't doing it.
I feel like
you'd
yes,
have to pay someone to do it, right?
Bookwork and all that sort of shit, then yes. That's a non-billable hour. If you were paying someone to do that, I think that needs to be reflected in your prices, which is kind of, is a weird thing to say, seeing as how, like, I don't.
So I know businesses, let's just use Luke Smith over in WA. He's got 1 or 2 admin staff, and he's got 4 to 6 workers or whatever it is.
Yep.
And I would assume that all of their pricing structure accounts for their admin staff as well. So, look, I guess in a sense it's justifiable.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, I do think it seems crazy to me. Like if there was a $70 mow that you were quoting, and you know, to go in and say like, oh, you know, to think in your head like, this is probably a $70 mow, but I'm gonna have to charge $89.
Yeah.
Because when I invoice this client or when I'm scheduling this client in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of, you know, if you can get it, then get it, but you don't want to price yourself out completely, because
I guess that's what my biggest concern is with all this pricing talk and non-billable hours and everything like that. That's the part that, because you know, I have a lot of conversations with people, and they think that I'm disagreeing because I'm, you know, either old school or, you know, not up with the times or whatever. But I just think it's such a lost opportunity when someone just goes in way too high.
Yeah.
At least if you go in at a reasonable price, and I'm not telling everyone to be low, I'm just saying maybe not at the tip top high end.
Yeah.
You can always reevaluate later. It's not like you're immediately going to start going backwards.
No, exactly. And what would you add on for paperwork onto a client? Would you add another $5, another $10?
Well, I'm guessing if anyone uses that type of structure, they probably are saying to themselves, let's say it's a solo operator, they might say, I want to make $4,000 a week.
Yeah.
And then they have a look at how many jobs they can get done in a day, and then they try and find like a per unit cost.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, if I'm, going to do 10 jobs, it needs to be X amount for me to make my $4,000.
Now, I don't know if I would feel differently if I was still in the residential game. So, realistically, I send maximum like 6 invoices a day. Most days 1 or 2.
I think by the time
realistically, it's like
I think by the time that I was at the end of it, and had greenscapes, I believe we were only doing 6 or 7 invoices a week.
Yeah.
By the end of it. And don't get me wrong, we weren't running that at a mega high profit or anything.
Yeah.
It was pretty much there mostly for the boys.
Yeah.
I'd get something.
What do you do when someone comes and says, can I pay you cash? Do you go, I'll still put the fucking invoicing tax on that? Do you just wipe that off?
Nah, just put it in the back pocket, eh?
Put it in the back pocket. Look, I feel like there is like, a little bit of wiggle room on the adding 2 prices for paperwork and shit like that, but yeah, it just depends on the paperwork. Like a 2-second invoice, like most people, I shouldn't say most people, but my wife just does it on her phone, so she can literally pump out 3 or 4 invoices.
Yeah, that's how Vicky used to do it.
3 or 4 minutes.
And the invoices don't even change, you just change the date.
That's exactly right, yeah. So, I mean, maybe if you are spending like hours doing your invoicing, maybe you need to look at the invoicing programs.
I think if you're in the residential game and there's not a big cash element and you're doing 10 to 12 lawns as a solo operator, no matter what, that's going to take a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you've got an invoicing app that already has it like preloaded, I mean, all we have to do is change the date.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's still, by the time you've done your invoicing and you've done your scheduling.
So you reckon, depending on what kind of business you have, determines what dollar value you should add on? So for me, my back end is pretty quiet.
Look, I just think that my whole reasoning for the topic of this non-billable hours is to let people know that it's okay to have a certain amount of non-billable hours.
Fuck, I totally agree.
And what I mean by that is like, let's take the retirement village, for example. Yeah. It was quoted, and I know times have changed now, but at one point it was like $2,300 plus GST or whatever it was per week, and I worked out, okay, I'll pay this worker $1,000 and this person's going to work there 2 days, he's going to be, and I was like, okay, and Ben's going to get $1,000.
Yeah.
And then out of that $1,000, we had, at the time, we had a fuel element.
Yep.
Before we moved to battery, a little bit of roundup. I'd never included anything else, any other consumables like cord, etc. And you think to yourself, okay, let's just call it $1,000 that Ben gets paid before he picks up a tool. Now, I used to show myself on site. In the early days, I used to go there 2 days a week. That's how I made my $1,000 before I put the part-time worker there. But if the manager rings you on a Wednesday and you talk for an hour on the phone, because that can happen, then what?
Yeah.
You don't sit there and say, look, we're about to click over to 61 minutes, so I'm going to have to fucking put the price up, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then not only that, structures change. Hey, when we were there at one particular time, the rat bait stations, the map was gone. We needed to map the whole village out. And it was not something, like you could do it in your work time, but you were going to be sacrificing somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's true. I think that's the point is that let's not get worked up with non-billables. It's just a sacrifice that you have to make for being self-employed.
Yeah. That's cool.
There's so many other incredible kickbacks.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about the mad times that, I know for me, for example, you know, we'd had jobs where we would just cut big paddocks and do a bit of slashing, a bit of weed spraying, and, you know, there's a few months of the year where you rock up and you can get the job done in half the amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, how it's not like you run back to the client and say, yo, look, we were only here for like half the amount of time, so we're just going to cut this invoice in half. You know, so I sort of think you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I feel it. There's heaps of good things like buying a heap of shit and not having a tax bill. Fuck yeah.
Well, it's good if you know that you don't need to borrow or potentially borrow any money later on.
Oh yeah.
That was one thing. Obviously, I do own a house now, but it was one thing that we always for like 5 years, because I had a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And which ended up taking me 6.
That's not too bad.
But you know, regardless of what it was, we had to keep the income at a certain amount.
Yep.
So that when we came time, okay, we need to borrow money for a mortgage or whatever the case is, I actually had some credibility behind me.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did as well. Made ourselves look really, really good, and then as soon as we bought the house, it's time to rock and roll. So new truck. We'll get a new car eventually, but yeah, this year is a bit of a write-off because, you know, the truck, the shed, other things that might be in the
Yeah, you
works.
timed that nicely.
Yeah, it did. Real fucking good, eh?
There's nothing wrong with doing it. I mean, it's smart business.
No, well, that's it. And we still paid our tax. So we've got this bulk lot of money sitting there ready to go to the tax office, but it's not going to go. So it's banked up for next year. So,
yeah, sure.
Or
yeah.
fucking whatever. But yeah, man, I love the old instant tax write-off. It's a good one. But yeah, dude, non-billables, I totally agree with you that maybe they're getting pushed a little bit too far, but I think there is a place where you can charge for them. Yeah.
So, but like I said, I don't know that it's that much that people are pushing it. I think that people are just they're looking at their own time, and I think they're just like, well, I'm not going to sacrifice anything to have a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you come home at 3:00, take your boots off, and you don't think about work again, look, I think that's fantastic if that can happen. I know that when I did that, my business went stagnant.
Yeah.
It went stagnant so quickly. You know, if I didn't look at a piece of equipment or, I mean, look, I was just a different animal. Like I would come home and I'd refuel all my equipment.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that for 2 teams, it takes a minute too.
It does,
you know?
yeah.
So many things that I used to do, which would come under the non-billables, made us a successful business.
Yeah.
Without having to, you know, outquote ourselves.
Yeah. Some of the things I don't look at as non-billable hours. I look at them like they're stress relievers. Yeah. If I know everything's sorted, I'm fucking way less stressed.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. Like, I couldn't sleep at night knowing certain things. Like, if I don't know. I can't really think of an example.
Well, how much quicker do you think you could refuel a machine compared to, say, Rusty?
Oh, I mean,
would you just be like, fuck, I gotta go and refuel that machine, or I've lost fucking 20 extra minutes?
It's not like I would lose sleep over, you know, refueling machines and stuff.
No.
But like you know, it's not like I was, you know, I'd play with the kids and, you know, maybe they'd be playing around and quickly duck out to the trailer and, I'll go make sure this is done. Or if I had certain things that I needed to, like if I knew that my whippersnipper had no cord in it, you know, I'd just do those types of things. Now, you can do that shit on the job and it's the same. You're just offsetting one amount of time from one day to the other. But, you know, in terms of non-billable hours, everything that wasn't on a job site that had to do with work, to me, was a non-billable hour.
Yeah. Fuck, what about when you jumped into Catch Pro? Your whole first year was non-billable.
And even now, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, if you're...
There's a whole different beast.
Let's say we source a product from Ballard Products. To create a website ad, to calculate all the shipping, to physically order the product, even though people are like, come on, man, it's just like an order.
Yeah.
But there's so many things like...
Well, you got to set up all your fucking shit when it comes into the country, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Catch Pro, like I said, it's a different beast. Like if you looked at Catch Pro and you really looked at, like really the whole business, like you never know when you're going to make a sale.
Yeah.
But the worst part is when you spend an hour with someone going back and forth on social media, and you know you're really trying to sell them something, and then they say like, "Oh, Matt, I'll save up like real hard. I'll hit you up in September."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
And everything that you did up until that point was legitimately for nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know, the non-billables in Catch Pro is just...
I wonder if that...
It's outrageous.
I wonder if that contractor was like, yeah, that's some non-billables there, or fucking... Well, I guess, essentially, he's looking into something to make his business more efficient, even though it's not for fucking another 4 months.
I mean, look, put it this way, there's so many non-billables in Catch Pro that I had to run greenscapes for like 3.5 years to be able to justify not having another source of income.
Yeah.
So
do you reckon you probably could have thrown it away, what, year 2? No?
No, I could have thrown it away probably, I reckon... No, I don't think I could have thrown it away until, last September.
Yeah, okay.
So I only kept it around for 6 or 8 months longer.
Yep.
That's about right, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Really, before that, like, I can't remember. I haven't looked at the types of sales that we were doing in winter last year. I know we had an excellent summer before that.
Yep.
But it was our first proper selling time.
Yeah.
So... a lot of the money that we were making was really not going to us.
Yeah, okay.
That was really just, you know, there were so many things I had to pay back.
Just reinvesting in the business.
Yeah, so much of that. And that's normal with any... Look, I think if you've been in business for like, you know, 10 or 15 years and you're still, you know, let's say non-billable hours are taking up any more than 1 or 2 hours a day, then I think, you know, that would be a call for some pricing structure or something like that. I think if you've got an established business, your non-billables will go way down.
Yeah.
You know, there's not as much organising, there's not as much... Yeah, and I'm probably talking to solo operators.
Yeah, and you're in routine, you're used to coming home, banging out your invoices, or you have a set schedule. Once you get home, you fucking do this, and this, and then you're done. And
you also have to think of it as well as like, let's say someone like you, if you're not physically on the tools, but you're like being paid a wage, it's not really a non-billable, that's just work.
Yeah, that's it. I feel I still like, even though like I was doing maintenance and stuff, I still like, my brain was like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. I was just like, oh, why are you doing this, brain? Every time, man. I don't look. Hopefully, I get used to it, because I have way more staff. I've got way more work, and I just need to get out of that mindset that I need to be going 100 miles an hour all the time on the tools to be making money, because it's just not true. Because what I was doing was, even though like I'm training the new dude, I was going fucking flat out, and we were fucking burning through all the work, because there's enough work there for them to do and me to back off and do like, you know, the 40 and do a couple of other little jobs and just basically be a manager. And it's not work like that. I've just been going fucking hard out. And now I'm starting to sort of slowly, I did me maintenance day, did me 40 acres today. I'll do me 40 acres tomorrow while the boys are out doing
but that's
thing.
legit work.
Yeah, I know. But that was I wasn't sticking to my own plan because I felt like, I think it might have been a control thing. I was still like, fucking, I need to be in control still. But the guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm really proud of them.
You can still be in control and not be there 8 hours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's the thing.
I'll buy a drone. Just watch over them. That's something. I had I picked up a new customer. It's beautiful property, fucking breathtaking property with amazing view. It's right at the tip of Wellington Point.
Yeah.
This lady, beautiful lady. She complimented the way I messaged, and I said, "Oh, did you?" Oh, you dropped a C-bomb! Oh no!
Oh, well, come on, give us a break.
Yeah, I'll meow that out. Maybe.
Have you meowed any of yours out?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Meow.
Oh, see, I don't listen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well.
Because I'm a dog actor on the podcast, eh?
Oh, why are you doing this like this, Benny? Have you reviewed us?
No.
Nah, I do neither. But yeah, she actually complimented me, and I said, "Oh, did you think did you think the person behind the screen was going to turn up and look like a fucking Hell's Angel?" And she's like, "No, but you're so lovely. I'm very proud of what you've done with your business. You're very." And I was just like, "Oh, thanks." I got real giddy. I was like, "Oh."
How's me, buddy? I used to do a job, did it for years and years and years, and there was a lady, her name was Pauline, right? And this is at Trevally Crescent.
Okay, yep. I was like, I knew that.
And it was just a hedging job, and it used to take like around 3 hours or whatever, and a different contractor had it before me when I purchased the business, so that was Shorey, and they were not a business that would excel at that type of work.
Yeah.
They didn't maintenance. They didn't excel at.
Yeah.
So I come in, and I used to even just take. And this is even me as a youngster. I don't know, before I had kids, and I'd just sit back and I'd be like, and I'd just have a look. I used to call it Shaven Haven.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And anyway, Pauline was a real bitch, and she knew she was a bitch.
Yeah.
And I used to start there at 7. Let's say I was having a durry and a coffee and got caught up on the phone and started 20 past 7.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Oh, good afternoon." She was that type of person. And she did lighten up later on, But I had the job and I didn't have any tattoos. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, fuck.
So I don't know how far we're going back.
Jeez, that would be a while, eh?
Yeah, it was
25-ish, 24.
maybe a little bit before. Yeah, about 24 or 25. Maybe I got my tats. Anyway, and I got them relatively quickly. And yeah, she's just so I'd already known her for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And even though she was a bitch, we had a pretty good relationship.
Yeah.
I used to always go and say good day to her. And she used to smoke back then, so we used to have a sneaky fag every now and then.
Yep.
Anyway, I just, was working, and I think it was when I got this sleeve, and she's just like, "Oh, what are you going to done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, check it out," and she's like, "Oh, you're a criminal."
Oh, straight
And she's
away.
like, "Oh, just, just on me." And I'm like, "Well, you fucking known me for years."
Yeah.
I'm the same person. And
Yeah.
she's like, "No, you've just ruined, you look at those arms."
Oh, no.
just
I remember
full on
she
me.
made a few comments when I came and worked with you on me. She's like, "Yeah, another tattoo."
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's a thing now. Everyone's got
Everyone's
it.
got them.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah, it was so cool.
But no, I just thought it was hilarious how this has nothing to do with our episode.
No,
obviously.
no.
But it was hilarious how someone can know you for so long,
Yeah.
and they can legit. So you've said a story of someone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
you, And, you know, but then, yeah, someone who does know me, nah, you're a piece of shit now, eh?
Nah, this lady is lovely. I feel terrible. She's the day before she had surgery for breast cancer, she messaged me and she's like, I need to find someone.
Would you chew her?
Oh, why not? You know?
Yeah, cool.
But you fuck.
How old is she?
Oh, she'd be, 75, 80.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Bit like Cat though, eh?
Yeah, real tasty.
Remember Cat though was the neighbour of mine that I saw nude.
Oh, no idea.
The 30-year-old box.
Yeah.
I said it on here once before.
The 30-year-old box.
It's like they never change.
Fuck.
All right. Enough of that.
Back onto it. But anyway, there's a full day a week there, so it's a nice one. Fucking good one.
Yeah.
Two
is that for
people.
two? Yep.
Yeah, for two people.
So would you go there with a worker or you send the bus?
Nah, fucking send the boys, eh?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll stick to mine. No, I'll send the boys. I'll go the first couple of times to make sure they all know what's the GO. It's fucking beautiful.
Just stand there with a whip, eh?
Yeah.
Just be like, oi, fucking...
Do this.
Yeah.
And then I'll just whip my fucking... Oh, no. I was just going to get real fucking dirty then.
Yeah, nah. You can tell when we're starting to run out of content.
We just get filthy.
Well, look, from what I understand, our listeners love it.
Yeah.
And we're just two married guys, so nothing else really happens in our life except for our thoughts and our minds.
Wait, this is how like dad life, mum or family life we are. Like Lou and I are supposed to go on our first 2 nights away to the coast by ourselves, no kids. Ella's had RSV, which turned into bronchitis. Archie got RSV, which has turned into croup. Chloe had a dance concert, which congratulations, Chloe. You did an amazing job. She got firsts and seconds all the way through.
Wow.
So for 4 dances, we're going to States.
You taught her how to dance, eh?
You know I did. She's got dad's moves for show. But no, she did fantastic. But there was so many kids there sick. It was like inevitable that she got sick. And now Lou's getting sick. I'm good. And I'm going to stay that way because that just got to work.
Apparently, I'm getting my flu shot next week.
Well, we were all supposed to go and get a flu shot. But you can't go and get it while you're sick. So.
Yes.
Bum. But yeah, it looks like we're maybe not going to go.
How's this? This is off topic as well, but on the weekend, I organised for my cousin's kids to come here and play with my kids because I wanted to get some shit done around the house. And I knew the dad had COVID.
Yeah.
And so my wife was like, she had my twins at netball and she was like, can you go pick up the other kids with Nelly? Kurt's got COVID, so she'll probably just run out, just buckle her up, rah, rah. So before I can even get out of the car, the little girl comes running out. I see the dad walking out and I'm thinking like, oh yeah. Next minute, he's fucking at the window. My window is down and I'm like, oi, fuck off. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, you got COVID, don't you? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, get the fuck away from me. I haven't had it yet.
No, neither have I.
And yeah, man, he was looking at me just like, what the fuck's going on here? And I'm
Why
thinking
would you
like,
fucking go up to anyone when you're sick anyway? That's why fucking everyone's got like.
yeah. So I was like, yeah, man, just get away from me, you dog.
Yeah.
Get away from me, you dog cousin.
You dog cousin.
Thanks
for the COVID.
Anyway, I didn't get it.
Sweet. So we can pash after this.
We'll see.
Mustache versus mustache.
Air pash. So anyway, look, back to the non-billable talk. At the end of the day, would your advice be to someone that was either starting up or maybe they had been in it for a little while and they're like, man, I'm doing all this like free organising work. Is it worth my time? Like, what's your advice to them? Because
look, I'll
tell you mine, but just I'd like everyone to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, so for me, I'm a current contractor. If I was going to quote a job,
was that a stab at me?
No, like I'm just saying. We're different now. We're different.
Okay.
Don't get upset just because you're not in the game.
I just feel like you're outcasting me, eh?
I'm not outcasting you.
Like I'm a fucking alien or something.
Well, Maybe. A little bit.
Well, I've still got a skag.
Yeah, check it out. It's in the background.
Yeah.
No, but I personally, I tack a little bit on for large quotes, and if I have to go on site and measure, then I'll tack some money on. I don't fucking tax them for, my maintenance day. That's just a fucking gimme. Obviously, part of your non-billable hours are tacked onto your price anyway. But going overboard and I don't know, people work this shit out to the minute. Like every minute of my non-billable hours is work fucking this much and add it onto their invoice. And you know what? Personally, I couldn't be fucked doing that. I just...
Yeah, it's actually probably taking more time to charge someone or to charge every single client than it is to just fucking mow them and be done with it.
Yeah, it's really good to know your numbers. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic to know your numbers. My wife knows my numbers. I don't fucking know my numbers, but...
Look, that's a really good point. I think you're right. It is... Yeah, and there's a lot of talk around that, and I love those conversations because it is smart to know your numbers. There's nothing worse than thinking that you're running a profitable business when you may not be.
Yeah.
And Catch Pro is huge for that. We haven't lifted... Our Catch Pro has been $9.99 since we came out.
Yeah.
And
fucking I can guarantee the price of aluminium's gone up.
So yeah, it has a little bit. We are going to lift our prices accordingly soon. It's just we really love the $9.99 price.
Yeah.
I think once you go to $104.9 or something like that, even just reading it and even just saying it obviously it's more expensive.
Yeah.
It just is. But it makes it look way worse than what it is. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But people can't expect everything to stay the same.
Not in the world that we're living in right now with products, I think. But more to the point, with raising fuel prices and the cost of living, I do think people need to, if people are looking to increase their prices to adjust for the world that we're living in.
Yeah,
then I think that's
fair enough.
Now, I did also see a conversation that was raised about interest rates rise.
Yeah.
And there was a thread that got started and said everyone needs to really look at themselves, restructure their businesses, because with everyone's mortgage payments potentially going up $200 a month, people are going to start losing business. Now, I didn't actually comment on the thread, but I didn't agree with any of it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't agree with any of it is because the recent interest rate rise is really only going to affect people that either bought in the boom.
That's me.
And me.
That's us.
Or, people who refinanced in the boom. Because if your house was worth, say 600 before it, and then all of a sudden it's worth 800 or 900, you're like, fuck yeah, let's refinance.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now you have to pay more. It might only be worth 700 again or whatever. People that have owned their houses for 30 years and, you know what I mean? All of the businesses and everything like that, if you've got a certain amount of clientele that, body corporates, for example.
Yeah.
They're not going to drop their mower man.
No, exactly.
They just lift their body corporate pricing.
And let's be honest, people who are having to find an extra $200 a week aren't going to be tripping on...
Well, it's not 200 a week. It's
200 a month. 200 a month.
I mean, it might be more. I mean, obviously it depends, but...
Yeah, but their time is much more valuable working than it is mowing their lawn. So I'm sure that people will...
I mean, look, I'm sure... Look, if you had a client list of 100 and you lost 2 or 3 clients, that doesn't call for a business restructure.
No.
That just calls for extra non-billable hours.
I can go to the fucking 100 clients and just spend a bit more time with the missus. Fucking
how we doing, eh?
Yeah.
So I think in regards to that, I probably wouldn't be that concerned with the recent interest rates. Now, it could be a double whammy if you're a contractor that
Yeah.
You know, if you bought in the last 5 years,
Yeah.
and your own, obviously you have to pay more,
Yeah.
and then you had a certain amount of clientele that couldn't afford you anymore.
Yeah.
But
well, it is a double whammy for a contractor as well, because this fuel shit, like people are like, oh, it's only a little bit here, a little bit there. But my fuel bill has gone up substantially.
Look, I think you're right. I think the fuel price is, it took me a little while to notice, but when I started noticing the fuel price rising, when I noticed it affecting me was when I used to send Rusty to the 40 acres, and I used to transfer him an amount for fuel every week. And he would be calling me after one day saying like, hey man, I need another 50 or 100. And that's when you're like, when you're doing those high volume fuel jobs, you're sort of thinking like, I was getting 2,000 for it, and I was paying my worker this and this, and now it's costing me an extra 100 to mow.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel you. I had half a tank in my car, and I still had half a jerry can, and I filled two 20-litre jerry cans, half a 20-litre jerry can, so I was at fucking 50 litres, and half filled my car, and it was like $240 or something. And that was even, I got it for $1.87. Now, I don't know about you, like around here is not too bad, but down in Redlands, the fucking fuel can go from $1.83 to $2.24, like snap of the fingers, with there's no gradual rise anymore. So it's
I don't think I've seen it or paid for it less than $2 in months.
Yeah.
Months and months.
And the boys that are using 95, because I've seen like a few threads about people using 95 in their machines.
Yeah.
There's another fucking extra, $100 on top of that.
I've never done that.
Yeah, I use 91 in everything. So even Scotty Osborne recommends 95. So
no, well, I had never heard that. So I just heard it wasn't good for the valves or anything.
Yeah, well, I don't know about these new fucking emissions.
Yeah,
maybe it's a little bit different.
And I think that's why battery equipment's getting so over.
Yeah.
It's just not it's just not an element then.
Speaking of battery equipment, I mentioned earlier, do you think we'll ever see the new Echo stuff?
It's really hard to say. I don't see why they wouldn't eventually bring it in. Brands that are doing that now, and brands that are having, we talked about this on our multi-tool episode.
Yeah.
I think the smartest brands are the one that are making everything compatible.
Yeah.
Compatible with old generation stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think Ego's got that covered. Did you see the new Ego battery zero turns fucking sold out all over the place?
Yeah,
pretty quick.
There was only like 8 that came into the country or something.
Oh, is that all? I know.
Oh, maybe I could be wrong about that, but I didn't think it was many.
Okay. Well, that flickety split. But I've noticed that. So I know that.
And I don't think it's a very good commercial mower.
No, I think it comes with a 1-year commercial warranty, but it is what it is. But I noticed that they've got 12 amp hour batteries in the American kit, but we only have 10 amp hour batteries here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it, only because I know that I can't get a Catch Pro on the deck.
So you give a fuck about it?
Look, number one, it's not on my radar. It's not something that. See, not only can you not put a Catch Pro on it, you can't get a chute blocker on it.
Oh, for real? Has it got a round?
It's just a complete. It's a full pressed deck.
Like a time cutter deck.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? You painted it red, it would look fucking the same.
Okay.
And look, I think that there's a place for them.
Yep. There definitely will.
I think you could use one at the village.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you know what I mean?
But
it's a 42.
Do they have a catcher that you can put on it?
They would have a rear bagger that you could use, but I don't think that would be easy to use at the village, just because you've got a 42 deck. Then you've got to add something that's probably another 20 centimetres. Then you've got all that stuff on the rear.
And it wouldn't be a powered bagger either, would it?
No, it's not a powered bagger. I don't think that would matter.
Yeah.
Especially not if you're comparing it to the Catch Pro.
Yeah. Wonder if they're going to do like a powered bagger and fucking slip an extra battery in it.
The powered bagger would be like as bulky and heavy as the rest of the machine.
Yeah, that's true.
No, look, I absolutely love the idea of an ego zero turn. I think in schools, villages, things like that, I think they make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do they make any sense for a road contractor? I don't think so. I think if you loaded that thing on a trailer on and off 7 times a day onto 7 different properties, I think that deck would be fucking cactus in 12 months.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I was thinking about the mean green. Like the aluminium deck, how would that handle, say, WA or something like that?
Look, I don't necessarily know, but it's a beefy deck.
Yeah.
I would have a heck of a lot more confidence in that deck than I would the Ego deck. And Ego will come out with a fabricated deck one day.
Oh yeah.
It's probably already happening now.
Well, this is their first fucking hat in the ring, so.
And it's been out for ages. Like I think the first video I watched was Dirt Monkey's video, and he absolutely trashes it. It was probably 2 years ago.
That was it, yeah.
And was really impressive video, showed what it could do. But trashing a mower for 3 days, driving over some bushland and stuff like that is different to, using it day in and day out.
Yeah.
And so when you are talking about a contractor, that Ego, I don't know what the specs are. Maybe it goes 8 Ks an hour. Would you ever go that slow?
Fuck no.
You know what I mean? This V-Ride behind me
goes just under 20.
Goes just under 20. Now, I've just moved into a new neighbourhood and I have a council block next door that I actually have access to. I mowed it and only mowed it half pace because it was my first time mowing it, didn't know what was in there, all of that stuff. And, I wasn't mowing it for money.
Yeah.
So, and all the neighbours, sort of having a look at me, and one of them ended up coming over and said, geez, you flew through that. And I'm thinking, Did you
say, I should get my mate BJ in?
Nah, I didn't mention you at all.
Oh, fuck.
But, I do think sometimes, imagine if that was your top end. Yeah. Imagine if that was as fucking fast as you could go.
Yeah.
Speed is not always everything, but it's great to have the option.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's like the Tiger Cat today, man. I only got off it once when Lou rocked up with a iced latte, and fucking I clicked some acres off today on the 40. But oh man, I love that machine. Like I still can't believe you used to stand doing it.
Yeah, well, I was good for standing for about 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. And then I was pretty sick of it after that. And the 40 acres was the only exception.
Yeah.
I could mow a 5 acre property.
Yeah.
Or a 2, or I never had anything bigger than a 5 apart from the 40. And then everything else was 2.5. So I do that, no dramas. Yeah. Over there is about an acre. And I think I mowed it in 23 minutes. Not even trying.
And you were doing half pace.
Yeah, and the grass was kind of pretty gnarly too.
Is that the first time it's been mowed since the flood?
Yeah. Yeah. Which was kind of like, because the grass had been drowned a little bit, the growth had actually been a little bit stunted.
Yeah, well, I was talking to MG today. He said the same thing. He said the moisture in the ground has probably chilled the roots, and that's why there's a bit of a...
Well, this shit was actually properly submerged. So if it was around here, and you can actually see, like, I've got green grass, and then I've got like actual poo coloured grass.
Yeah.
And if it's where the water pooled for longer than 48 hours, it just suffocates all the oxygen. Yeah. So the grass is fucked.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
All right. Well, we seem to be babbling a little bit, so we might. We might get balling. So congratulations to our winners. Please don't forget to get in contact with us. We'll read them out again.
So we got Zuzu88, Hoppy Bounce, and CURRGHDGGD. So CURRGHDGGD. CURRGHDGGD. And then Blakey's Backyards. Reach out to me, buddy, and I'll hook you up with a skag pack.
All right, so I am at Catch Pro. He is at TBL. We're out of time. See you on Sunday.
Peace.